Hey, welcome back to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, and trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so you can easily choose the best watch for yourself in the comfort of your own home. We offer the lowest prices anywhere online, and if you'd like to know the price, simply click on the links in the description below. We greatly appreciate it if you purchase your next watch from us at JazzTime.com. Alright, so we'll be talking about the Vacheron Constantin Overseas Chronograph, reference number 5500V-110A/B148. This one on a blue dial. There are three other variations, one in a pink, gold, or rose gold construction with a leather strap, and the other two also stainless steel but with a black or white or silvered dial. Alright, this one a little special when it comes to this dial color because there's just something very special about this blue that just pulls you in. It's more dimensional. It's very deep when it comes to its darker hues, darker values rather, right? And the light ones just sort of pull you back out. It's incredibly beautiful to look at with your own eyes. We'll be going over the case, the dial again, the bezel, the crown functions, as well as these pushers, and the movement and the bracelet. I'll be giving you my thoughts on all of these throughout this video. Now, starting off with this case, it's a 42.5-inch case from finger to thumb. That's the diagonal measurement, sort of the 2 to 8 or 10 to 4, same measurement. All right. It has a thickness of 13.7 millimeters. It's water resistant down to 15 bar or 150 meters. And it also features a scratch-proof or scratch-resistant sapphire crystal on both the front and the back being an exhibition case back, something that's new for this third generation. The third generation also features a slightly different bezel, right? High polish on the front, but what it doesn't have is 8 prongs. There are 6 prongs actually on this bezel, giving it a bit more space, a little bit more boldness where it shows, and it just feels a little bit more modern compared to the second generation, right? So it does have that Maltese cross sort of theme or motif going throughout this entire watch. Certainly on the bezel you can see it. You also have the literal Maltese cross on the dial right there, right above the name Vacheron Constantin. The second bezel underneath that is a satin brush finish, sort of a radial, well, not radial, it's circular, going all the way around beneath the high polish, with a high polish on the side of it to give it sort of that nice glowing look, nicely separated from the case, which is vertically satin brush finished, as you can see from these top lugs all the way down to the bottom lugs. There's a nice high polish along the sides of this case, with the bevel as well, also a high polish, giving it a very distinct sort of curvaceous look to it. Extremely tasteful and beautiful as well. Absolutely elegant. Now, looking at this dial, we have a chaptering at the peripheral for the seconds. That's for the chronograph hand, center mounted with that counterweight. All right, as you can see, I set it going, and it can actually double as a large center mounted seconds hand because of, well, reasons that I'll get to in just a moment. But let me reset that for you. Okay, so taking a look at the dial color, again, it's this very specific type of blue that you really won't get with many other watch manufacturers. The closest would be the blue ombre dial from the Rolex Day-Date line, and even then that only really comes on a white gold case, which is much softer, much more potentially dangerous to own if you take in a few impacts on it, whereas this one is a full stainless steel watch. You can wear this every day. No need to fear the integrity of your watch case. You have 18 karat gold index markers all applied on their matching hands as well, and the sub counters, small seconds at the 9 o'clock, 12 hours, and 30 minutes sub dials for the 6 and 3 o'clock positions respectively. Nicely included, you have a date aperture at the 4:30 position, something that the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore, the more direct comparison of this watch, also has that date aperture. The Rolex Daytona, I believe, actually does seem a bit more of a direct comparison when it comes to visuals, at least, because of this round case, the way that the bezel is presented here with that nice high polish as well. but the Daytona doesn't have a date aperture. So this is something that I believe sort of edges this one a little bit ahead of that Rolex Daytona, and certainly keeps it up in contest with the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore. And certainly this one's called the Overseas, so I wouldn't really put it past them to say that, you know, it's kind of a comparison. All right. Now taking a look at the functions of this watch, again, you have the chronograph pushers. I'll go over those first. So pressing, well, actually, in order to have this case fully waterproof, you need to have all of these elements on the right side fully screwed in. So make sure your winding crown is screwed in, as well as the chronograph pushers. To use them just takes about a quarter turn to open them. And so then you can actually press them in to actuate the chronograph function. Right now, this chronograph does have that vertical clutch on the movement. You can see it right there underneath the 12 o'clock position, where basically you can just have this running without potentially damaging the movement with its extended running. And thankfully you can keep this running as a large center mounted seconds hand, because when you check the time setting function, there's no hacking seconds function. So keeping this running as a large center seconds hand, that's perfectly fine. Press the top button to start it, press the same button to stop it, and then press the bottom chronograph pusher to reset it and the sub dials as well. Be sure to screw them back in to the case to ensure the waterproofness. All right, now onto the winding crown here. Simply unwind it to the first position. This allows you to wind the watch. So if you're at a full and complete dead stop, you can just wind it about 20 times and you'll be at the full power reserve. Nice and easy. Pull out to the next position. This allows you to quick set the date. So it's about a quarter turn to advance the date by one. You get this nice clicky sound and feel as you advance the date. And if you find yourself on the 30th of a month, just advance it by one once you get to the next month, after the hour hand has passed and you're on the 31st, just move it over to the first. Nice and easy. Pull the crown out to the final position. Again, no hacking seconds function for that small seconds, but again, you can use the center mounted chronograph hand at your leisure. So you can just simply, if you want to use the small seconds, wait for the small seconds to, pass by a point that makes the most sense to you. So I'll wait until it passes 12, then I can press the crown back in to start up and engage that minute hand back in line with that seconds. Now, if I didn't want to really bother or faff around with the small seconds, I can just simply use the large center mounted chronograph hand as a large seconds hand, and I have full control of all of the time here. The choice is yours, certainly. And honestly, when it comes to, the setting of the time, there's really no need for that seconds hand to be fully hacked, because when someone asks you for the time, or you give someone the time, you don't really give them the seconds. You only really give them the hours and minutes. So that's only really what matters, and they thought about this. All right, so what makes all of this work together? It is the in-house made Movement 5200, as you can see through the case back. On this third generation, you can see it. On the second and first generations, not so much. It's a closed case back, but this one has the exhibition case back. And you can see the 22 karat yellow gold winding rotor, which, by the way, you can actually see in its full glory by taking off the bracelet with your own fingers, with your own hands, no tools needed. All right, so here you have the full rotor experience, fully polished with a high polish, sandblast, and satin finish all together in one amazing rotor with plenty of patterning to go on there. So something that you can certainly enjoy. It is a self-winding watch, or self-winding movement rather, 30.6 millimeters or 13 3/4 lines. It has a thickness of 6.6 millimeters, 263 parts with 54 joules, and it has a frequency rating of 28,800 vibrations per hour, or 4 hertz. That means that every second, the small seconds and also the chronograph hand move 8 times per second. All right. Now you also have these Côte de Genève on this movement. It's certainly something beautiful to behold, and all the information is printed or rather etched in by hand nicely and consistently. You have also a total of 52 hours of power reserve on this watch, so simply winding it to the full power reserve and wearing it on your wrist, thanks to this large rotor, will keep it wound up to that full 52 hours of power reserve. Right now, when it comes to this bracelet, the easiest way to tell if you need to put it back on is to make sure that all of these screws are on the same side as well as that of the case, right? And it's a nice and easy application back in. It just slides right in and clips in. All right, and same with the 12 o'clock side. You can do the same thing, clips in nicely and easily. Okay, now if you'll notice, again, every single link has a set of screws on them, meaning that any of these can be removed for perfect sizing. And when it comes to the finish of the links, it matches that of the case. Satin brush finishing along the front, but also nice high polish on the inside of those bevels there. All right, so incredibly small, incredibly tiny in its detailing, but certainly nothing is overlooked on the Overseas bracelet. A high polish along the sides here, and also a leather and rubber bracelets are also included with the Overseas chronograph. Now taking a look at the clasp here, it's a little bit interesting. It's a bit special too, because if your wrist does happen to swell up during the day and you have this size perfectly to your wrist, you can have an extra 3 millimeters, 1.5 on one side and 1.5 on the other. All you need to do is just pull them out directly from the clasp, right? And if you no longer need them, just push them back in. It slides in and clips in nicely and easily. To open the clasp, press both sides to open it up so that you split that Maltese cross right in half. You get the butterfly deployment, all right, nicely and easily done. And while we're here, I can actually try it on and give you my thoughts as to how it wears on the wrist. Now, keep in mind that my wrist is 7 inches in circumference or 18 centimeters. So on my wrist, this one is a bit large. So at 42.5 millimeters, it wears absolutely gigantic for me. I don't really get much bracelet either way, but you know, it does allow you to wear this, you know, if your wrist is, you know, even as small as even 14, 13 centimeters, you can still wear this just fine. Just keep in mind that the sort of iron alloy, the anti-magnetic alloy on the case back will elevate this watch off your wrist quite a bit. Not that that's a bad thing, because you do get extra venting underneath these lugs, which don't really go downward all that much. They just sort of stop there and the bracelet integrates nicely from there. Overall, it's not heavy, but it is a noticeable watch on the wrist. When it comes to the readability, extremely easy to read those index hour markers with the luminescence. Let me turn out the lights here so you can see them. All right, it's not the brightest luminescence, but it certainly works well enough that you can certainly read it in any lighting situation. I can see it perfectly fine with my own eyes right now. So, you know, it's not like the Rolex Chromalight, but still very bright, especially that 12 o'clock, nice and thick index hour marker there. All right, and so let me see if I can zoom out here. All right, so when it comes to the overall framing, if you have a larger wrist, you will certainly get a better frame from top to bottom of that dial. But you know, there's certainly nothing wrong with this dial, because the dial is everything about this watch. It's that very deep, the depths of that blue that really sort of indicate, you know, that you are wearing an Overseas or a Vacheron Constantin for that matter, because Audemars Piguet, Patek Philippe don't have any dial like this. Only Rolex comes to, you know, a close second when it comes to this dial color and look, but that's only on one specific model. This one is offered on stainless steel, so you can wear it every day, and not on white gold, so you know, you can't potentially risk damaging your poor watch just from its own construction alone, right? So why would you get one of these? Well, why not? If you take a look at sort of how Rolex and Audemars Piguet sales have been going, they're absolutely through the roof. And you know, honestly, if you can't get a chronograph like the Rolex Daytona or the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshores, this one would be an excellent contender, and certainly it certainly does, because it sort of has the best of both worlds in that case. The round case profile, sort of giving it that sort of Daytona look, but then the fact that this is part of the holy trinity of watchmakers, Vacheron Constantin, the other two being Audemars Piguet and Patek Philippe, well, you certainly are buying into a watchmaker that has that legacy, probably one of the oldest, if not the absolute oldest watchmaker in, you know, when it comes to luxury watches from Switzerland. I'm gonna stop this chronograph now, so. Okay, so anyway, you can keep that running if you want, but this is how it looks like stationary. Nice and absolutely beautiful, and you know, why not pick one of these up? We can get them for you at Jazz Time right now. If you'd like, links down in the description below where you can get it for the lowest price anywhere online. Be sure to like the video, be sure to subscribe as well, and hit the bell notification so you can be notified when we go live with another video like this one. And we'll see you in the next video. Take care.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in Jazz Time, plus the brand, model and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.